almost landed in LA 2 years ago, but not with the Lakers. According to a new report, Russ apparently asked Kawhi Leonard about a Clippers team up 2 years ago. But Kawhi turned around and asked Paul George to join forces instead. LeVar, does this bring the Kawhi-LeBron rivalry in LA to another level?
No, because I don't think that there's a true rivalry that exists between them in LA. I mean, right now, as it stands, LeBron James sits on the team that has supremacy as the franchise that is the big brother of this city. LeBron James has brought a championship to this team as well. And probably one of the most memorable years that you can think of. I mean, we lose Kobe. You have the pandemic, and they win. Like, think about all of those elements. So when I start to think about a rivalry, I don't think this is considered to be a rivalry. I think it has potential. But if you really, really break it down to the minute detail, break it down like an organic compound, the Lakers still seem to be trending in the right direction of winning championships, where I don't believe that the Clippers are. I think that the Clippers are in limbo. I think that this could clearly be a fall off of the cliff season for the Clippers. Their window might have even closed on being a dominant team in the West. It's possible. So to me, I don't think this adds to the rivalry between LeBron and Kawhi, because I don't think a rivalry exists. But I will take it a step further and say I do believe that this is a tool that LeBron and the Lakers will be able to leverage and use to give Russ, already with enough incentive. I do think that this will be something that is used, that they thought that Paul George was the better guy to bring in versus bringing you, Russ. And how's that make you feel? And that's if it even turns into that type of a deal, because really, Chris, J-Mac, I don't really know that the Clippers will be so good this year that the conversation continues to persist, that this should be part of the conversation or the narrative going into the versus games between the Clippers and the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously this is not a historical rivalry. I mean, the Lakers are light years ahead of the Clippers. It's been a little bit of a rivalry recently when Kawhi spurned the Lakers to go to the Clippers. So what this is just another storyline. All right, we've got plenty of storylines. We've got Kawhi, you know, as I said, spurned the Lakers to go to the Clippers. Kawhi with the commercials and all that, talking about it's my town and I'm about to take over L.A. Now we've got Paul George leaving Russ and going to play with Kawhi with the Clippers. Now we add on to that Kawhi actually, you know, went behind Russ's back and used what Russ told him that he wants to go play with him in L.A. against him to get Paul George to L.A. So this is just another storyline that does make for a delicious scenario. Delicious. But here's the problem. I don't think Kawhi Leonard's going to be playing next year. And like you said, LeVar, because he won't be playing next year, the Clippers aren't going to be that good. They'll be doing well if they make the playoffs. So where's the rivalry? And here's the other thing on top of that. So we probably won't have Kawhi next year. So the Lakers will be much better than the Clippers. And then if it doesn't work out with the Lakers, all right, if Russ and LeBron can't figure it out and can't work together, and all of the problems that the naysayers, including myself, have gone out there and said they see what this team put together, Russ could be gone after a year. I mean, that's really a possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure. But if it does, right. It happened in Washington. It happened in Houston.
Yes.
All right. He was on. It could happen. And so if the Lakers don't get it done this year, they may be looking to move Russ. And Russell will only have one more year left on his deal. So he'll be easier to move than he has been in the past. So we may never see Russ and Kawhi go at it in L.A. uniforms. Probably we will, but it's possible that we won't.
It's funny, you know, just listening to what you're saying about Kawhi Leonard, I'm thinking back to the Clippers. The last time the Clippers were a really good team was with Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell when they pushed the KD Warriors. Remember the 6 games? It was like, oh, man, those Clippers are good.
They were a really good team. They were a really good team last year.
No, they were not. No, that's a false narrative, Chris. Kawhi Leonard, since he's got to L.A., all he's done is make mistakes. He drives Montrezl Harrell out. They blame him for the bubble loss. Then it's like Lou Williams, we got to dust him. Doc Rivers gets jettisoned. Like, everybody's been to blame for what's happened with the Clippers, except for Kawhi Leonard, who clearly built this team because he's the one asking, oh, should I get Russ? Should I get Paul George? Like, Kawhi Leonard isn't taking enough heat. And it's funny because he's so in the shadows, working in the shadows and duplicitous, taking a call from one guy and calling another. That's some gangster stuff. But Kawhi is largely escaping criticism for someone who's always hurt, who failed and choked up 3-1 against Denver in the bubble. And I know you want to talk about pixie dust in the bubble. Again, we're glossing over an epic collapse by the Clippers, who, Chris, you could even argue, I think you have argued, that this franchise is cursed. They just made their first conference finals, and, of course, Kawhi's injured again. But if I'm the Lakers, LeVar, initially I was thinking, you know, you're wrong. There is a rivalry. And then I'm thinking about it, like, Clippers are not on their level.
Nope.
As Chris said, they're not even going to have Kawhi this year. Think about it from the Clippers' perspective, folks. Man, are we getting Reggie Jackson back? Are we getting Reggie? Is he like that's your offseason right now? I don't know if they're in the play-in game next year. You're right, LeVar. There really is no rivalry at this juncture. It's just laughable that Kawhi built this juggernaut, this alleged super team, when Chris says they were good last year. Really? They were so good, they didn't have a leader in the huddle because Kawhi ain't the leader. We know that. They had to go out and get Rajon Rondo. And then he barely plays. Chris, I'm sorry to spit facts on the Clippers, and you want to defend them, but you're wrong again, okay? They did not have a leader last year, so they got Rondo. They got to the conference finals, yes.
How far did they go?
After getting past the Mavs in 7.
They were in the Final Four.
7. They get past Utah, which didn't have Conley, and they get to the Final Four. Yes, it's funny. Chris, LeVar, how about this? Chris just took a shot at the Miami Heat for getting to the finals in the bubble.
So I guess there were only 3 good teams in the league.
The Clippers made the Final Four. Like, Chris, be consistent, man. Come on.
Let's go back to the pixie dust.
You be consistent.
I am.
You be consistent because you praised the Miami Heat for getting to the finals. Now you're ripping the Clippers for getting to the conference finals. You cannot sit here with a straight face and say the Clippers weren't. You cannot sit here with a straight face and say the Clippers weren't a good team.
They were not a good team last year.
You can't. No. Now, they weren't the best team. They didn't win a championship. You're right. But to say they weren't a good team, so I guess there were only 3 good teams in the NBA last year.
That is correct.
Right?
There were only 3 good teams in the NBA.
The other 3
Lakers,
Final
Nets,
Four. Stop it.
And everyone else.
I actually believe that the Clippers were better.
Lakers got out in the first round.
I think they were better equipped to win the finals last year than this year, to be honest. Just my humble estimation. But looking at the Clips this year, what I'm feeling is their window of opportunity to take that next step, because we all know winning can breed more winning. Success can breed more success. Them dudes don't feel good right now as Clippers. Like, I think maybe Paul George feels okay because he got a little bit of vindication because he found his game and really made things competitive for the Clippers, even in a dark moment of losing leader, not leader, superstar, and Kawhi Leonard. This was their opportunity to win a championship, and this was the year to win the championship. You win that championship, now these conversations have a whole lot more merit. It has a whole lot more weight to it. We're talking about a team that can't win it all versus a team that's challenging. We just were talking off on break about how LeBron James has another opportunity to become an immortal and do it as a Laker by bringing another championship. What is it, guys? Is it you become the most winningest franchise in the history, or you tie the Celtics? Is one of the two. I think they become
right now.
They're tied right now, so they take it. They become the most winningest franchise in NBA history if they get another one. That is something to be said. That is on the line, legacy-wise, for LeBron James and anybody else who's on a team that will win a championship that boosts and propels this Lakers team to that level. What are the Clippers playing for? What is even the relevance of this conversation right now outside of LeBron and Kawhi? That's the only relevance of this whole entire conversation. Because to me, if you look at comparing the franchises, there's no comparing the franchises. If you're comparing the careers of LeBron and Kawhi, well, there's no comparing that either. So where are we really taking this conversation?